our dear friend Mr. Kevin Hugg. Can I say something? Just on the right side, Mr. Tahir Chaudhry. He was telling something else. How the immigrant people, they came in this country, how they become a successful people. Just next to that, Dr. Suraj is one of the successful businessmen. But next side, one of the very successful and a big name in politics, Imam Hassan, right there. I would like to request you please come down and say something to appreciate Mr. Kashif Sajjad. Mr. Kevin had to take left.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The speeches that have been made, obviously, most of it goes right over my head. The one I understood was that English is a stupid language. And I have to agree, it is. Because which language has one word which has 4 and 5 different meanings? And it does. But some of the speeches that have been made are interspersed sometimes by words which I think speak Urdu, so that it's accepted in that language. Majority is one of them that I kept hearing. And you know, there are words in the English language which have been accepted from other cultures, and that's got to be right. There are people in this country that don't want immigration. I'm not one of them. There are also people in this country that want repatriation, which is essentially back. For me, that's completely wrong, because I've been an immigrant. I've walked in your shoes. I went to another country and lived in another country and learned that language fully, and therefore was fully accepted by the people. And I think that one of the most important things that anybody living in another culture needs to do is write the language, and I think that's already been said, because writing is so important to everybody. If you think that language changes, if you look at one of our greatest writers, which was Shakespeare, if you try to read Shakespeare, and I say try, it's in an archaic language. It is English, but it doesn't seem like English when you try to read it. And that's the importance of writing. It doesn't change. It's one of the reasons the Quran should never be adopted or adapted or changed, because that is the word of God, and it should stay exactly as it was. But otherwise, if it was word of mouth, it would change as language changes. And that's the importance of writing. And what I would like to say to you, I mean, Sajjad has written a book, The Immigrant. I've actually read it, or I'm halfway through it, and enjoying it, because it is poignant to me. It reminds me of my time in another country. I speak about 7 languages. One of them isn't Urdu, but I can get by in a couple of others, and I'm currently learning Chinese, or trying to learn Chinese. But I cannot write. I can write in 3 or 4 of the other languages. I can write in French, I can write in German, I can write in Netherlands, and I can write in Italian. But I cannot write in all of the languages, and I find that restricts me. So that I would beg you, please, if you, and I've looked around, and there are some of you writing, and I would beg you, please write in English. Because if you write in English, you will become to understand it. You know, when a batsman playing cricket is in, he's out. Because he comes out of the pavilion and they say, oh, the batsman's out. But really, he's going in. So it is a silly language, but you need to understand it. And you need to understand it properly, because otherwise you will get misconceptions. You are, for me, a very brave people, because you're here in a strange land. I don't know how many of you were born here. Possibly half of you, I would think. But no, I don't know. How many immigrants? How many of you are immigrants? Everybody. No. We have some that are not. We do have some that are not.
I'm born here. I'm almost born here.
And you will find that your children will move on. They will move on. They will become English. They will change. Because that's exactly what happened to me. I became one of them. And it's strange how that happens. My children spoke when they were born. They were born here, but I took them to another country. I took them to Holland. They went to school there. They spoke the language fluently. They actually thought like a Dutchman. And that's the key to it. They actually thought in that language. And I don't know, I would think that possibly you actually think when you think and you dream in Urdu. Or you think in Urdu, and then you translate. The key to it all is actually not translating. It is to think in English, because that is when you will be English. And hopefully many more people will come from Pakistan to enrich our lives, to bring things to us that we didn't know anything about. Before you arrived on our shores, you came with your hard work, with the culture of hard work, and you've made successes. And that's what really immigration is about. It's about you bringing us your skills. And that's what we need, because otherwise we become insular. The English are a nation of immigrants. My forefathers, going back 100, 200 years, were German. But I don't have a hint of German in my voice or in my language. It's just strange. It's another language to me. I do speak it, as I said, but it is a strange language. Your children will move on to become English. They will think in English. And that's when you know that they're no longer immigrants. They are one of us. And that's the same. I said to Sajjad the other day, actually, when we were having an interview, there is actually no difference between us. We love our parents. We love our children. We love our wives. If you cut us, we bleed red. Both of us. All of us. Every single human being. And that is a very, very important thing to remember. People are all the same. We're divided by languages because we don't understand each other. I don't understand, as I said, Urdu, but I do understand English. You understand English, so you can understand me. I can't understand you. So I will understand you, but your children will be perfect English speakers. So I will understand that they will integrate. And the second generation, third generation will change. It will change. So thanks very much for listening to me. I'm actually honoured to have been asked to come and speak to you. And thank you, Sajjad, for that. And thank you all for
Many thanks to Mr. Cllr.